Yes, yes, yes. Hello, everybody. Big Bear coming at you from Greer, South Carolina. How's everybody doing today? All right, guys. We got something real tough to deal with today. All right, so this is what I want you to do. Hold on. Yeah, come on. Let's have fun with this. Yeah, y'all. Excuse me. I want y'all to relax. All right. This is Tuesday, 10/20, 11:08. It's about 70 degrees out here, I think. It's a little chilly. I'm in the workshop. We're doing work today. In the game of life, I make a lot of metaphors. And so when I'm out here, I'm doing work. And this is a place that I can have discipline. It's one of the ways I corral or rein in my own mind. And it's to let me know that I'm in a place where I'm going to be serious for a little while. I can have fun, though, because the whole point of the process is to enjoy life, right? So you enjoy what you're doing, but you can still be focused and have a purpose and be mindful of that purpose. So we're here in the workshop, and we've got a tough assignment today because let's face it, and this is for smokers specifically, but this, some of this stuff actually, you don't necessarily have to be a smoker. This could help some other people. So my goal is to lead with love. That's my legacy of my mother. That is a lesson that my mother taught me. So in all things, when I sit back and I meditate right before I give a presentation, I try to hold a thought in my mind so that that's what I'm focused on initially once I start. And my mother taught me to lead with love. So that's the first thing I do, is try to hold love in my heart and try to project that to you. If I'm not, I apologize. I'm doing the best I can. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. I want to also hold gratitude in my heart for your attention and for you taking the time to come here and try to work on yourself, because if we all grow together, I think that's what our goal is. There's a bunch of us that want to see the human race succeed. Guys, winners keep score. So if you don't mind, I want to ask you a question. See, I got the date and time here, right? Winners keep score. And so I want to ask you a question. What are you doing to keep score in the game of life? And that's today's topic. I wrote it down. What are you doing? And this, Barry, but it doesn't matter what Barry's doing. Again, I'm on my journey. I was where I was. I'm where I'm at now. I've been working on myself for 12 years. I was a mess. I was a wreck. I can tell you the sob and horror stories. It doesn't matter, really. That's all they did. I just have gratitude for them now. I collapsed them into one cycle, and now when I look back, I'm happy that I was a mess so I could learn. I'm happy that there was lessons that I could extract from that. So I approach things with gratitude. Back to winners keep score, though, right? Winners keep score. And so if you do things, you can make anchors for yourself. And so I highly, highly recommend you keep score in some way, in certain journeys of your life, and understand what that means. And what are you doing to sit back and check the score and see, are you winning, are you losing? And to me, what that is what kind of person do I want to be in 5 years? And I picture this avatar in my mind of that person, and then I can look back and analyze all my things, my behaviors, and look at myself and say, well, is what I'm doing going to get me there in 5 years? And if not, then I know I have work to do. That's all. So sometimes, the law of the pen, you write it down. I've got journals. I've got a couple of composition notebooks here that help me keep my thoughts organized, because I tend to be a little bit scattered. And then again, to keep score, I can tell you, this is when I quit smoking. This is something I can pull around with me. I can keep it in the car. I can take it actually to anywhere I want to. I've had it in hotel rooms with me. It's been to the Guidestones. I do these videos for fun in odd locations, and I'll bring that along because I know that I'm going to do a video for the quit smoking too. I've been doing these videos for 5 years. I've been trying to figure out how to help people quit smoking for 5 years. I want X number of people to be influenced enough. I mean, I don't want to take credit for it. That's not where I'm at, y'all. I try to lose my ego, but I've got some stuff that can help some people, and I want to give it to people. And what you give away, you get to keep. I don't know. I'm not trying to give it all away. It seems to me people don't respect stuff unless they pay a price for it. What price have I paid? I've had to go from who I was to who I am today. I've had to struggle. I've had to fight my own mind in different ways, but it's because of what I initially did. Actually, I made quitting cigarettes very, very easy for me this last time, but it took me 20 times of struggle and strife and banging my head against the wall until I finally got it right. So I just kept at it until I finally succeeded. It did take me well over 20 times. I guess I was stubborn. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why they had such a hold on me. I'm not sure why it took me so many different methods to finally figure out that, that's what I was initially told. The first person to ever tell me to quit was my best friend's dad, his pop. You know who I'm talking about now. And he told him, he'd smoked Pall Malls, which was the filterless cigarettes. He's like, no, I just put them down. He used to smoke 2 packs a day of Pall Malls. He just put them down. All right, so my question to you: what are you doing to keep score in the game of life? I know one thing, that I've mastered the cigarettes. It's been 5 years since I had a puff. People have blown it in my face a little bit. I'm not going to say I'm 100% nicotine free, because I'll sniff it and I'll enjoy it. You can smoke around me. I'll give me a hit, maybe. I don't know. But I won't take a drag off of one. I don't get a full-on drag where I'll get any benefit from the nicotine. It's just memories of the days, I'm not going to sit here and regret something that I did. All I can do is learn from it. All right, so probably cut that part out too. I'm just rambling. Take 3. All right, guys, winners keep score. What are you doing to keep score in the game of life? Today, we're here to talk about cravings and what are cravings. And a craving is when you have this just sudden urge, and they're sudden typically, I feel, is my understanding of them. I've had cravings, so, don't we agree that they're typically sudden urges? And they just creep up in different places. I think that with people who have addictions, they will tend to pop up in places where you would tend to use the addictive substance. So for us who it's cigarettes, us nicotine fiends, the places would be like the car. You get in the car. I always would have a cigarette getting in the car to drive. I drink coffee. Take a hit of coffee, man. Light up a cigarette. They went hand in hand. A beer, some kind of beverage. Upper or downer, it just worked, man. So I believe this is where people feel like they get triggered. Now I'm going to flip your script a little bit, because I feel, this is me, you know, I feel with me, I could differentiate between a physical craving in my body, something my body kind of alerting me and saying I want, and then the actual thoughts that I was having in my head. So I separated the two. And this is through observation, because it was over time. I quit 20 times, you know, and I quit and I quit and I quit. Excuse me. So, so I differentiate between the two types of cravings, with one of them being my body. I don't know. It's just you get an ache or a feeling or whatever. You know, the first 5 days, 3 to 4 to 5 days, I guess. Somebody correct me. I'm open to correction. But at some point, your body craves the carbon monoxide. Or what it does is your body alerts you. So there's a different way of looking at it, right? So I'm going to flip your script and change your perspective if you want this to help you. But your body's used to having carbon monoxide, so it gets used to having it. It's just a habit. So when you remove the thing, when you remove the habit, the body notices and it alerts you. It's like, hey, something's out of normal. But that doesn't mean that it's right. So when we can retroactively, when we can sit back and try to take a different perspective and say, no, well, you know, the body thinks that because we fooled it. We spent X number of years. How long did you smoke? So we spent that much time telling your body this. And then suddenly you yank the rug out from underneath it. Guess what? Your body will rebel. Okay? So are we necessarily talking about physical cravings, which is your body reacting to a change in environment or a change in physiology or a change in something? There's a change. It's reacting to change. Let me just... Okay. We'll leave the specification to the doctors. But there's a change, abrupt, to your body. And so it responds. And so cravings, in my opinion, physically, is that. And then same thing in your mind, you have a mental change because you had a habit and there was something you used to do, and then it provided a mental stimulant. I'm hooked on my coffee. I still need that stimulation right now. I'm working on my health. I'm trying to get better. And I'm leaps and bounds better. But I still need a little bit of kick every now and again. All right. So when it gets beyond the 5 days, and, are we going to argue the point? Again, if I'm wrong, somebody kick me to the curb on this. But after 4 to 5 days, all of the majority of the nicotine and the metabolites are gone. It's water soluble. You might have traces of it, but by and large, it's freaking gone. And anything that's going to really influence you in the long term, and then it takes another, it's going to have some kind of half-life, I suppose. And so maybe another week until it's really super insignificant. But, and that's what we're saying, statistically insignificant. We know it does impact us slightly. We're not trying to be perfect. But it's statistically insignificant beyond the 5 to 7 days. That stuff's gone. The metabolites are gone. There's no more nicotine or none of that in your body. So what does that mean? Okay. What if you realize that what's happening is your body trying to readjust back to an abnormal situation, right? So you provided an abnormal environment for your body, and then again, you snatched the rug out. So it's trying to react and go back to the abnormal environment, okay? And it's because it's become accustomed to experiencing that. The physical cravings die off after 5 to 7 days typically, and so understand that any other cravings that you actually have are all mental. And then this is what worked for me. Maybe this is where I had a disconnect with other people, but once I understood that it was all mental as far as the cravings were concerned, I shut off their power. I shut off their power over me by, it's like when you flip the light switch and the roaches scatter. Because beyond the physical cravings, then it was all mental. So then it was a lie. Any cravings I had were a lie. They were thoughts. They weren't cravings. It was a thought. I had a thought about smoking. Yeah, I used to smoke. I'm a non-smoker now. I am my avatar. Be careful what you say after I am. And so I teach people their avatar. What's your avatar? It's who you are in 5 years. So my avatar in 5 years had no cravings. My avatar in 5 years didn't worry about people blowing smoke in their face, smoking in cars, going to weddings, going to bars, girlfriends, boyfriends, anything else. My avatar wouldn't have a boyfriend, but stop picking on me. I love you, Maddie. All right. So my avatar had zero cravings, right? That's who I pictured in my mind with emotion. My avatar is that thing 5 years from now that I wanted to gravitate into. Hell, I'm here. This is what I wanted to be, who I wanted to be. Trying to help people just kind of sprung out of that process as well. And that was just leading with love. And what can I do with love? Well, you give it away. And that's what a lot of these things are. Your anonymous groups sprung out of people wanting to help people. So here's where I flipped my script. Here was the disconnect that I thought was fooling me. This was my disconnect. Was that a craving had any power over me at all? Since it was all mental. If it was all mental, all I had to do was decide that it didn't have any power. That's tough. But the way that I combated that, and I had to knock a home run. It's a game. Remember, it's a game of life. So I had to knock that home run, right? And I redefined it. I made it a habit of redefining a craving of nicotine as simply a thought as opposed to an actual craving. Because you can control your thoughts. So physically, I knew that any cravings that I had, I would have up to 5 to 7 days, and then beyond that, I wouldn't have any cravings anymore. And so then all I needed to do was to work on the cravings for a few days and make sure I got through about 7 days. That's what I planned for. That's why everything circles around 7 days. It's kind of interesting. I'll get to that later. So here's some things about cravings. Number one, expect them. Oh, wait. You don't have to. See, I didn't expect any, so I didn't get any. People call me a liar. I had physical withdrawal symptoms. I didn't call them cravings. I ran through the same stuff that everybody goes through when they go through withdrawal from nicotine dependency. And that lasted 4.5 days. Because I was prepared. And I flushed. I flushed with water. All right. I did what I was supposed to do. So my challenge to you is this. If you quit for a month and you still have cravings, you're still convinced that the cigarettes aren't bad for you. And really, I think if you have any kind of real strong cravings, it's because you still think that cigarettes are okay. But to me, that's tantamount. It's the exact same thing as saying that the cigarettes aren't killing me. I'll never get sick from them. I won't lose teeth or have to get crowns from them. I got 2 crowns from smoking. It's the not me syndrome. It'll never hit me. Or my favorites. You know, Yubi Blake smoked for 99 years. Okay. Or other people smoke. You know, and I mean, it's if you're basing your life off of other people, I don't know. I don't recommend that. So we're here about cravings. The physical cravings die off. From there on, it's all mental. So, I got some notes here on what can we do to prepare both our mind and our body prior to quitting smoking. Number 1, understand what's going on in your body. That's what we've been doing right here to try to help you. But you've had years of artificial stimulus, and then bam, all that energy that you got from the nicotine, it's gone. So now your body still expects it, and it still, your body expects it still. And it takes your body a while to adjust and compensate. Ooh, that's good. So yeah, so your body's trying to compensate for the fact that you're not getting that 10 to 15 to 20 to or more bumps of stimulation, because nicotine is a stimulant, and it also releases endorphins. So you're not getting those hits, right? Your dopamine levels, all that stuff changes all of a sudden. And again, we're pulling the rug out from underneath us. It takes 90 days for your dopamine levels to return to normal. Understand that. Your appetite suppression is going to go away. Understand that. That's not a craving, okay? It's not something to be scared of. It's something to understand, and maybe you can compensate for that by understanding and preparing and having a plan. Hello. And then again, your carbon monoxide levels are returning to normal, but your body is used to toxic levels, and it tries to tell you something's wrong when it actually isn't. Right? Your body's used to having an actual toxic level of carbon monoxide. It's causing damage to your body, and your body will actually crave that. So that's what happens initially, and then again later on you're clear. All right, so what can you do? Here's my number 1 recommendation. They say they recommend a flush. You basically take your body weight in pounds and divide it in half, and then that's the number of ounces of water. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you divide that in 2, that's 100 pounds. So you convert pounds to ounces. So if you weigh 200 pounds, it's 100 ounces of water. If you're 100 pounds, it'd be 50 ounces of water. The math's linear and it's pretty simple. And so that's what the people I know recommend that you drink to flush. And so you get a jug of distilled water. And here's what I recommend, because the distilled water won't have the trace minerals. Your body needs trace minerals. And so this is something you can do to help your body prepare. And I would do this during the week before you quit. You prepare your body by starting getting it used to having these minerals that it needs that you've probably been missing out on. And so this is what you can do. Drink water. Drink lots of clean water. Half your weight in pounds in ounces of water. Some people can go even higher than that. I'd certainly, again, check with your doctor and all that fun stuff. Make sure you're doing the right thing. And here's an important thing I recommend also. if you're going to drink a lot of water, because I recommend drinking 8 ounces at once, because that's what the people that I learned from recommend too. If you do it this way, it's kind of has an alkalizing effect along with the flush, so it can kind of help you if you have heartburn or indigestion and stuff, and it can help you with your quit as well. But yes, okay, forgive me. Drink a mouthwash or something to kill germs before you do that, because if you do it this way, that alkalinity can kind of counteract some of your stomach acid, and then that would leave you open. You don't want to do that and leave yourself open to bugs, because we think that's our first line of defense against certain things, bacteria and whatnot, and the stomach acid kills them. So, if you're going to counteract the stomach acid, give it 30 minutes for it to return to normal, probably faster than that. I'm not sure. I'm not a doctor, but anyway, shut up. All right, so that's what you can do. Water, you can flush, and make sure you're getting the proper trace minerals. If you flush too hard and flush all your salts out, you'll be missing out on electrolytes, and that's not good, and that's what these trace minerals are. They are electrolytes that help your neurotransmitters and other things like that. Here's another thing you can do to help yourself. No drinks except for coffee or tea, and you drink them plain. I don't make the rules, guys. Don't get upset with me, but you want to help yourself with cravings, right? I believe that this will help you with your cravings if you avoid all other drinks, any sugary drinks. I believe sugar will trigger cravings, therefore I'm saying avoid the sugar. That's why I make this recommendation. So no sugar and no milk, because there's sugar in real milk too. It's called lactose, so that's a milk sugar. So okay, well, it was nice. Thanks for coming. I know, you guys. I know, guys. But that's so important to me. It's actually the next one. I say it again, but I take it and no, you're going to get really mad at me now. You're going to cry. You're going to get pissed off. Okay. But I recommend you limit sugar and the fake sugars, all of them, any of them. Organic cane sugar, no, it's sugar. Aspartame, the pink, there's a pink, a yellow, and a blue. They're all fake sugars. And then there's the new one, the stevia. Get mad at me. I say no. I say 100% no fake sugars, definitely. And limit sugar all you can. The only sugar should be like refined organic cane sugar or honey. But I don't recommend any sugar at all. At all, at all, at all, at all. I've got reasons for that. All right. What else can you do? High quality vitamins, and in particular, something that's going to help you heal and boost the immune system. I would recommend, again, taking this at least a week beforehand to get yourself ready. And I would start doing at least these first two, at least a week beforehand if you can, and build it up in your system. But zinc and vitamin C, and then B12 can help you with your energy. B12 helps you extract energy from your food. And so it can help you boost your metabolism. I think the B12 really can wait until, excuse me, my nose is a little itchy. The B12 can wait until around the time you quit. It's an immediate kick butt. So you eat something and then take the B12 and boom. All right, so what else can you do? Probiotics. You may want to look into something called soil-based probiotics. Look at stuff that says that it can help with candida. Particularly, most people who smoke, you understand cigarettes are 20% sugar, so I don't know what goes with all the sugar or what it is, even in a burn form, if they can use it. I don't know what's going on with that. So I'm not trying to be an expert on that, but somehow we tend to, that maybe that's part of the craving. So maybe if you had better good gut flora. Better good is that me not fail English, that impossible. Uh, Sauerkraut, would be good. Stuff like that. All right, so what else? You see me, I'm sucking down this coffee, right, guys? There is a wonderful combination that I found in it's Matcha, Matcha Tea. I think that's how you pronounce it. Forgive me if I'm wrong. But the active chemicals, the primary ones are L-theanine, which is an amino acid that your body doesn't produce. It's non-essential amino acid called L-theanine, and then caffeine, and those two are in a balance with one another. And so the caffeine stimulates you, but the L-theanine reduces anxiety. So folks that can tolerate L-theanine can take L-theanine and caffeine, and what the caffeine will do is give you a boost. The L-theanine will moderate that and keep you from being all jittery from it. And you'll get something similar to what the cigarette was doing, was kind of giving you a calming lift. It calms the mind, is what the cigarette does. The reason it calms the mind, I think, is because it relieves the tension from you having the craving from the physical part, right? So again, once we remove the physical part, I don't think you should have any other kind of cravings. I just don't. I didn't. But again, it's because I convinced myself. I'll say that very carefully. I convinced myself that cigarettes were no good for me and that I hated them, basically. I mean, I was almost to that point for being so suckered in, I mean, it's actually the cigarette that smokes. You're just the sucker, right? Hello. All right. I'm not trying to be ugly, but that's what got me. Here's some things. I'm very careful with this. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not prescribing anything. I think, what is it? My buddy will laugh at me. The Ninth Amendment. Oh. Is it still going? Okay, it said maximum file reached. My buddy will laugh about this. The Ninth Amendment says that you have the right to self-medicate as long as it doesn't violate any other laws. And so, what you put in your body is your choice. And so I'm not saying you should do this. I'm saying these are things I did or experimented with, and they're legal. So if you want to look into these things and research them and see if you can apply that to your quit, these things, in my opinion, can also help you alleviate some of the symptoms, or help you bridge the gap from the day you quit to the day a week later, when you're 1 week removed and all of the nicotine is out of your system, as well as the metabolites in your body's not necessarily having to deal with eliminating them or flushing them out. And you've had your water and you're flushing, anyway. So, and I say these too, because, and I want to be very, very careful, because it's been said these should not be taken if you're taking antidepressants, and that's what the doctors that I listen to say. But 5-HTP is something that helps you with your neurotransmitters in that chain, and then GABA also, particularly if you're like kind of ADHD, GABA can help some people with their focus. So if you have trouble focusing. So these are things that people have tried. I'm not telling you to use any particular one, any certain one of them. I'm just so afraid of being sued. I guess that's why I have to say that. I'm not here telling you what to do. I'm saying this stuff works for some people. These are things that I can recommend you look into and apply it to your life and see if it's a good fit. Again, I don't recommend any particular brand, but you should have some trace minerals going in. You need them. You should anchor your behavior by keeping track, keeping score in the game of life. So, wow, this went way longer than I thought it should. So I'm going to have to chop it up. But cravings, expect them. You're going to get cravings, I guess, unless you just don't want them. If you don't want them, tell your avatar that it's not going to have them. Do you have that power? I'm telling you, maybe you do. Can you break the board? Do you have the mental kung fu to break the board? you have the mental kung fu to break the board, you can acquire the mental kung fu to not have cravings. My friend Ross will tell you, he blows smoke in my freaking face. I don't care. I never had a craving. My body adjusted for 7 days. Really 5 days, 4.5. After about 4.5 days, I was kind of done. The day 4 was some of the worst, but it was also, by the time it ended out, it was kind of like the storm. You know, roars, was it March roars in like a lion and marches out like a lamb. That's how my day 4 was. Day 4 was probably the worst, maybe day 3. But that was, again, my body responding. That was the most turbulent feeling, the most dynamic feeling that I felt inside. And that was my body responding. Beyond that, it was all in my mind. And so I just let it go. I didn't worry about it. I knew my body would respond. I just got through. It's kind of like, it's kind of like the flu. Okay, I have to get through this. And it was just like that. So yeah, my body felt rough, but I did some things. I did the flushing that got it out quicker, I think. I don't think it was really that severe. Maybe that helped. And then I think the zinc helped my skin already start to repair. So whatever that whole process was very beneficial to me. So cravings, you can expect them, you can have them, you can get through them. Everybody does. Some people, my father quit in 1983. He's 80. He said something to me a couple of years ago, said he'll still get a craving every now and again. So some people will keep those cravings for life. I don't know. I didn't want them. I made a conscious decision. I built an avatar, and I've evolved into that avatar. I am what I pictured in my mind 5 years ago. In my avatar, no cravings. So guess what? I just never had them. That was the simpler thing. Simpler just not to have them. Can you do that? Can you get there? I don't know. Maybe you think I'm silly. If you think I'm silly, this is probably not for you. You don't understand how much power and control you have over your thoughts and the thought process. Every action is preceded by a thought. So if you work on your thoughts and then get the right habit in your thoughts and get yourself where you're thinking the way that you want to think, which again, in my opinion, should be your avatar. Are you thinking the way that will get you to the person that you want to be in 5 years? 10 years? So when you work on your thoughts will carry you there. Well, who said you couldn't do something like make up your mind that you weren't going to have cravings? What's wrong with that? And so then you allow and relax and receive and have gratitude for the fact that your body responds to your thoughts. Because that's the most loving thing that you could do to yourself. Because again, you're leading with love. What you're trying to do is give yourself a big hug. Say, look, they got me. They got me here with this addiction. And I'm going to go back to my natural state. And all I'm going to do to get here is just cut that off. And I'm just going to say thank you and have gratitude for the experience and what it's taught me. And move on. If that's your point, if that's your intent, if that's your avatar, then that's what you get. Thoughts are things. That's what they teach you in that book, The Secret. That's what it's all about. Thoughts are things. So, you control. I don't know. Did I write down some of this stuff? Some of this stuff I did write it down, actually. I can show you. I still got it. I might have it. Thoughts are things, right? I tell you, I mean, where is it? I thought I found it. Is it in here? It's in here, isn't it? I don't. It might be in another. All right. I told you I keep track. I had a 5-year plan. I can tell you know, but guess what? My 5-year guy didn't do smoke or drink. And that was a long time ago. Anyway. I made that 5-year plan 10 years ago. I hadn't been drunk in about 10 years. So I haven't had a drink in about, I don't know. It's been a while. Andy, when's the last time I had a drink? It was at Andy's birthday party, I think. Bury with the words I can't, what you feed in your mind. Because your subconscious is always listening. So if you tell it that you can't, then it's going to believe you. Especially if you tell it enough times. But guess what? Good news is, you can reframe yourself. You can catch yourself and say, no. That's just a signal to me on where I need to do some work. Work on it. You'll get where you want to go. All right. I talk too much. It's just because I love you. I'll do some outtakes. Take care. Bye.